You're watching MotoringBox, proudly supported by Century Batteries. Welcome back to MotoringBox. I'm Sean McKellar, and this is my TJ Magna Ralliart. Today, I've got a few things to finish up. Got a front grille to install, which will probably take us about 30 seconds. I've got a rear wing I want to put on too. I've got body strips. I've got the interior door skins to put back on as well. And we've also got lots of little things which we need to fix up. So let me show you a few of those right now. If you have a look around this side, the flare does line up pretty good here with the front of the bumper. I might just check the fitment just to see if I've got the clips for that the right way around. The other side definitely is not the right way around. If you have a look at this, the gap here is quite big. So I do need to pull that off at some stage and just double check that. And whilst I've been putting this car back together, I've also been keeping an eye on what parts I still need to source. One of them is actually the insulation here for under the bonnet. I have learned that later model Magnas, the TLTW, had a different material, which is a lot more sort of hard wearing, or doesn't fall apart like this one. So yeah, this does look like crap at the moment, but I want to pull that off at some stage when I find a better one to fix it. And also I need to undo some of the damage which he who should not be named did to this car before H&H got a hold of it. I don't like to harp on about that too much, but let's be honest, there are still a few things which he did which I need to fix. You'll see there's some red paint. Old mate was obviously spraying something in his workshop right beside my car. So it's on this spoke, you can see a bit there on the lip, on some of the wheel studs here as well. Nice. Bit of Ralliart red, hey? Very creative. So I need to get that off. Luckily, clay bar gets it off. You need a lot of muscle. Something else I need clay bar for is actually over here on the side of the bonnet. Again, this is not H&H paint and panel. This is old mate beforehand. You got a bit of overspray of primer down the side of the bonnet here. Luckily, the clay bar does take it off. You can see just here. See, there's overspray there, but there isn't here. This was my test patch. So I was successfully able to get it off. Thankfully, the stuff on the inside here is mainly just dust, but yeah, on this outer edge is definitely primer. So I'm gonna be scrubbing. See, it goes all the way up here too. The rear wing also needs to go on as well, which should be quite exciting. I also have some new trims here for the door, which I need to reapply the double-sided tape on before I stick them on. New antenna, which also needs to go in. Yeah, like I said before, the trims for the doors, the door skins. I was also considering replacing this material here too. It kind of looks like shower curtain material. So I actually got a shower curtain from Bunnings, which I might also have a go at replacing too. But yeah, let's get into this, guys. Let's start with the front grille. Let's go. Haha, look at that. Beautiful. Wow, that was quick. Let's keep going. So I've resprayed these myself just with some gloss black and a bit of clear. They're not a showroom finish, but one thing I've realized about this car is that I don't really need to go for a showroom finish. It just needs to look neat for the street, which rhymes. But I'm not looking to win any shows. We just want to look good driving. Sometimes you have to operate the wipers and then see where they come back and park at to just make sure you've got it in the right spot. But for now, that should be good. Done. Look at that. She's dusty, but that's looking very awesome. So with these mirrors, they've been refinished beautifully, painted in sable black. I've redone gloss black around the plastic here, and I've already got the mirror taken out because I'm actually replacing the mirror glass like I mentioned last week. Every time I looked in the mirror, you just saw all the scratches and you just think, man, I am driving an old car. So this has got to go. So as I showed last time, I've got some replacement glass, and I did a test run on the other mirror just to make sure I could do a good job of installing it before I showed you guys on film. So this mirror actually came with a sticky pad in the box, which I thought maybe it's suggesting that you just stick it on top of that. But with the test run I did on the other mirror, I found out if you smash this glass out, get it out of the way, the new one actually fits into this bezel really nicely. Safety glasses, probably a good idea. You can never take chances with your eyes. Maybe just stab it through the back. There we go. Gloves, Even with gloves, be careful. There we go, look at that. So yeah, let's clean this up a little bit, put some tape on the mirror and pop it in. Easy. Yeah, you know, that cut is actually showing a bit of a gap, but it's not the end of the world. So that should be fine. The frame is holding it in as well. It kind of pops in under the frame a little bit. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And clip it in. That's it, that's done. Look at that. There we go. Beautiful. Slightly precarious, I admit. Every single LED works, which it should because it's new, but hey, I'm paranoid about things like that. This car is really shaping up now that that rear wing's on. I got a few more fixings to put in, but very exciting. Now, one of the additions I wanted to make to this car is to add a set of mud flaps, because if left to the mercy of road grime, the wheel arch flares and the side skirt can actually start chipping. So this set, which I've mocked up here, are very stealthy indeed, and I achieved this look by getting a set of rally flaps, cutting them down in a straight line like so, getting rid of the rest, and then using the stock mounting bolts. The end result, I think, looks pretty good. You're not even going to notice this thing when the car's on the road. They look stealthy, and we'll have to mock up a similar set of mud flaps for the rear as well. Now with the side door trims, I have to get the old glue off this, and usually a caramel wheel is good for this, but it's so dry and cracked and everything that, and it's such a small space as well, that I don't think it'll work very well. So I've actually just been using a flat bladed screwdriver with quite a bit of success, to be honest. I'm just kind of getting under the glue and just scraping it off. It's still going to take quite a bit of time, but yeah, it does seem to work pretty well. Everyone wondering why this restoration of my Magna is taking so long, this little door molding here took me, no joke, about half an hour to 45 minutes to strip off all of the old tape. The really cool thing about these though is that these little prongs here, these little locators that go into the holes on the door, they're so snug that they pretty much hold this strip on by themselves. So any tape you put on is really just assisting what they're doing. Beautiful. I know it's dirty, I know it's got my fingerprints all over it, but that's going to clean up very nicely. Only 3 more to go. There's a lot of hard work that goes into some of this stuff, but it all pays off if you stick with it. And that's true for a lot of things in life. Sometimes you just don't know how close you were to success whenever you give up on something. We're not always the best at what we do, but sometimes you don't need to be the best. You just need to get it done. Oh, look at that. Wow. Look at that. That tape is just peeling right off. That was a really nice little segment. And now we're back to the crap again. The good and the bad. We don't always have good times. But the bad times make the good times all that much more sweeter. Moog doing AU Falcon. Tell you what, guys, in all seriousness, I spent about 2.5 hours last night finishing up the side of this car, the driver's side, and I had RSI in both of my wrists and my hands, and that's not something I've experienced since I was a teenager. So we've still got the passenger side to go, but I'm gonna have a break because my hands just can't take it. Still got a driver's door handle to put on too, but let's check the box and see what else I've got to do. And when I say check the box, this is something which I tried to put a bit of organizational effort into this job. And everything I took off the car, I've put into little baggies, which are labeled and everything. So let's see what we've got left. We've got our driver's door interior panel. We've got clips for the front grille, which I renewed, so we don't need those. Got our little washer jets for the bonnet. Drivers, yeah, so we've got all of the door skins. That's for the spoiler, which was already done. A couple of random screws and bolts in here as well, my old shifter. So really, I might do the interior next, get the door skins put on. After that, it's just the antenna and slap some plates on this thing and a couple of other random little things, and then we're done. Oh, and the strips as well, which will be fun. All right, let's go. I understand this is riveting YouTube viewing, but this is the realities of it. Keen-eyed Magna enthusiasts among us will also see here that I need to get a new rubber because this one was torn off by old mate. It's just the end of it, but obviously, you know, you got to replace the whole thing, so fun and games. Oh, thank God. My God, that sucked. This is kind of replicating what the door had from factory. Just like a shower curtain type material and just sort of glued on, as long as it works. Speaking of working, this light is not having a fun time. Happy? With our door skin, I've put new clips everywhere. Sometimes they're hard to get on, and really buying what I've got here, which you can't really see, but it's a trim clip set. You get a couple of hundred of them in a kit off eBay. I'll put a link in the description below. It's awesome if you're doing a job like this, because these clips, the original ones, they all snap because they're brittle. Magna just needs a bit of tough loving, then it gets it done. This is where our little baggie comes into it. So we've got the little door handle cup and every single screw which came out of this door. If I didn't have this sorting method, I even had the LED in there. If I didn't have this method, I would be screwed, literally. Pardon the pun. These door cups are the work of the devil. It's really hard to get them to clip in properly. Having said that, this one seems to have gone in pretty easy, so I'll just double check. See, this is what happens, they don't shut properly. So I need to make sure that's all the way in there. There we go. So we need to hold that and then put this screw back in. Hey! All right. Now on the rear door, this original plastic here, there's no way it's going to reach where it needs to. It's like it's shrunk or something. I was curious though as to whether a heat gun would allow me to stretch it. So let's see. It appears to be working actually. Kind of working. No courtesy light on this one. Just all of the fixings. Yes. Now for the moment of truth. You know what? I think that plate needs to sit up higher. I might have to drill some new holes actually. Or do we just double-sided tape it? I might just do that. If anything, it's more secure than screws, because screws you can just take 2 of them out and then take the plate straight off, whereas this, you almost need to bend the plate. Much better fitment. With the rear, I'm probably just going to screw it for now. I do want to take these plates off when Harley buffs it. So yeah, we'll just use screws for now, but I will come back and double-sided tape it. On the boot especially, using double-sided tape stops the plate from rattling whenever you open and close the boot. So yeah, it's a really cool thing to do. And I don't want to bend my plates, so I'm just going to do them up tight enough. Look at that. Even though the combination's not that great, color-wise, bang on. Guys, the day has come. The Magna is back on the road. And hand on heart, I've not seen this thing out under the sky, under the sun, under the clouds, whatever it is today. I've only seen this car in the garage. I deliberately did that so we can see it for the first time together. I am very excited. I gave it a quick wash. I did not by any means give it a full detail or get it show ready or anything like that. So this will be a good, honest look at what this car is looking like at the moment. And just with the short drive out here to Bundamba, geez, I'm so glad to be driving this car again. It just drives so well. And the gear changes, oh my God, they are just crisp. By far, like the best manual gearbox shift I've ever had. So I'll run down the end of the street here, we'll park it up. And funnily enough, this is a place I bought the Magna on the day that I purchased it originally back in 2022. So I thought it'd be fitting to do the same thing. I parked it right about here. So let me get you guys off the mount here, I'll put you on a stick. Here we go. All right, I'm not gonna turn around until about here. Wires and chains starting to fade. I am speechless. For someone who talks a lot of shit, that is amazing. So just to reiterate, this car still needs a buff. This is the paint straight off the gun. Wow, she's looking, wow, look at that. I'm trying to see what it was for, but I'll never know. I will say she's not perfect, but considering where this one's been, what it's been through, the owners that have owned it, how they treated it, my God, I just can't stop walking around it. Wires and chains starting to fade. Guys, I am blown away by this. We've still got work to do, mind you. There's still some parts I need to source, things like the under tray for the front guard, some wheel well liners in the front here, which I think it shares with the VRX models and whatnot, so it should be pretty easy to get. But yes, really appreciate your support and your patience. Thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you for subscribing, supporting me with comments, Patreon supporters and people who have bought merchandise from MotoringBox.com. The Magna has been saved. Maybe we need to go and save something else. See you next time.